Hello and welcome to this Knowledge Center interview here at Itron Utility Week 2018. My name's Adam Malik and I'm joined now by Itai Dadon, who's the Director Smart Cities and IoT at Itron. We're going to dive straight into it, and one of the things that has been coming out in the interviews that I've been doing, particularly with utilities, is about the potentially unique role that utilities can play within the whole smart city ecosystem. Before we go into other areas, can you give us your perspective of that and the role of utilities within it?
Absolutely. I think that for many people, the connection is not that trivial, but for people that are in the industry, I think that they understand that the utilities are in such a magnificent position to help communities and cities solve a lot of the problems that they're facing, because they already have a fantastic advantage that they already touch every single home, and they service all the citizens and people that live in a community, whether it is to bring them water, natural gas, or electricity. And it is just a natural progress of that service to continue and solve more problems around the utilization of resources, around the utilization of energy in the city. And this is a big part of what smart city really means.
But on a macro level, I still find that a lot of utilities are kind of scratching their heads about how to play within that.
There's a lot of regionality issues and challenges that they are facing about what they can and cannot do with regards to regulation, what business model to use. It's not so much about whether or not they're the right player to help move things along, but how to do it, I think. And this is really part of the reasons why we decided to bring all our solutions here to the Knowledge Center and show the utilities the breadth of applications and solutions that we already have today to help them service those communities. At the end of the day, we're really trying to adapt to the needs of cities and communities around the world and understand, first of all, what are the challenges that they face and what problems are we trying to solve. And moving backward from there into building solutions that are actually going towards helping creating real meaningful outcomes to solve these problems. And we are bundling our solutions around four main pillars or themes of these types of challenges. And the first and maybe most important one is around sustainability of cities. That's where we deliver these smart streetlight solutions that around them we can put a lot of the air quality monitoring, wastewater control and management, flood detection, and everything that is around helping cities really become more sustainable. We're bringing, at the end of the day, the synergy between what we've been already doing for so many years with the utilities around demand automation and demand response, and how do we help each citizen understand and get the right level of energy. For example, with introduction of electric cars, I live in California, we're seeing a huge uptake in consumption and buy from citizens of electric cars, because they understand this has a meaningful impact on their environment. Having said that, when they buy an electric car, they expect that wherever they plug it, that they get the energy to supply and charge that car. And we bring those solutions to help make that happen.
And the electric car piece, for the first time, now that this tipping point has reached, the announcements by Volvo and people like that, I mean, it's happening, right? It's going to happen.
Absolutely.
This is seismic, isn't it? This electromobility and the impact it's going to have.
We are at the beginning of an inflection point that will really reshape the industry, because what these big heavyweight industrials are going to do is really challenge the way and the pace at which problems are being solved. One of the things that are key here is, again, how do we standardize solutions so that Volvo doesn't come with one way to solve it and Daimler with another and GM with a third one. So I think it's, again, another place where Itron is very well positioned to work together with the utilities and this newcomers, or not newcomers, newcomers into this industry from the automotive industry to understand what is the right set of language and tools and standards to solve this.
Do you feel that the sort of utility industry is recognizing the need to be speedier?
I think we are at a moment where I hear a lot of utilities recognizing that they not only need to move faster, they need to add a whole new set of skills into their R&D organizations and engineering and the way they face the development of new services and products. We're also coming with the open ecosystem approach, and we're attracting a lot of innovation that is also developed by innovators around Itron. And what you'll see here is that many of these amazing applications are coming from sometimes startups, sometimes established companies, but experts in each one of their domains, and having the ability to intake that innovation, package it properly, and then serve it to the utilities is really part of where we're helping all this industry move faster.
And can you talk a little bit about what type of digital services you see, maybe, some that are already being deployed, but also future?
In all these themes or pillars, we have the applications that we serve today, and obviously the visions and the roadmap of what we'll do in the future. Specifically in the digital services domain, what you see here is a lot of the digital displays that are dispatched in cities as a way to communicate with the citizens, as a way to provide meaningful real-time information to the people in the street or in buildings or in parking lots to help them act based upon information that is available through the network. These digital displays are connected to our mesh network systems and are capable of delivering, again, information that is very meaningful and at the right time. Now, moving forward, what is important to understand is that these displays are not only a way to communicate with citizens, they're also an excellent way of helping generate another revenue stream for the city or the municipality or the utility by placing advertisement in those digital displays.
One of the things that really struck me when we were sort of preparing for this interview, which you said, and I can corroborate this, I really feel that the whole smart city conversation is now becoming very real. It's about solving problems.
Yes.
Whereas back in the day it was more like technology being thrown at it and go, oh, hey, here's a bench that can talk back to you, and you're like, well, what's that going to solve? What do you believe are some of the real, you're working across the piece, some of the real killer problems that almost each city is coming to you with? Where should people look first?
I'll give you two examples. And the first one is that, especially in Europe, a lot of cities are looking very carefully at how they can become much more efficient in carbon emissions and become carbon neutral. And we are working very hard, not only in adding technology, as you said, that helps get the right solutions in order to reduce those CO emissions, but also a consulting and understanding and work that is done in conjunction as a long-term work with the city to do this continuously to help them be more efficient and be more environmentally friendly as a city as a whole. The other area where we're working hard is around traffic, reducing fatalities, improving safety and security in the traffic. It's not, of course, the congestion is a big part of it, but making the roads safer, and that is a combination of what we do with our streetlight solutions and with a lot of the sensors that we're putting in intersections and the ability to do predictive analysis on using machine learning and other technologies like that in intersections to help drivers adjust their speed, for example, to not be surprised by a red light turning red when they were just 10 meters from the intersection, for example. So this is concrete, very measurable actions that we're taking to help cities improve metrics that can really make a big impact on life.
On that note, Itai, we will leave it. Thank you ever so much for being with us, and thank you as well for watching this interview at the Knowledge Center here at Itron Utility Week 2018.